As you notice, we've kind of combined a lot of things this morning, celebrating multiple things all at the same time. So first of all, happy Mother's Day to all the moms here, all of the women in general who are here. We have something special for you after the service in the hallway, and I hope that you'll stop by and get that. But we so appreciate you, love you for the influence you have on our life, for holding all things together in the way that you hold all things together, for your spiritual leadership, your personal leadership, both in the lives of your families, the lives of our church. We are so grateful for you, moms. And we also recognize that these sort of holidays are difficult for some. And if you're watching online, if you're here this morning, and for whatever reason, this is a little bit of a difficult day for you. We know that there's some who have lost a mom recently, and that makes today difficult, or maybe not even recently, but they come to this day without someone to call or buy a card for. That makes today hard. Some have desired to be moms, and that hasn't happened in their life, and so we see you, and we're so grateful that you would still come and be a part of our worship today. So we're celebrating the ladies who are here this morning. Obviously, we're celebrating baby dedication, and we're celebrating Graduate Sunday. Kind of the way the calendar fell was why we put those two together. May not do that every year, but as I talk fast, but it is an interesting juxtaposition of having those two side by side, is it not? We have those who are just starting as parents, their family is young, some of them very first child, some of them second or third, but everybody's little, and just starting out on this journey of what it means to be a parent. And then we have some who've been at it for 17, 18 years and are arriving at this different milestone. And I think if the Graduate Sunday parents could say something to the baby dedication parents this morning, they would say the very thing that young parents don't like to hear, and that is, it goes fast. Like, it's a really short step from holding your baby here and your baby standing here in a gown. It is a very short distance, and it doesn't seem like a short distance. When there's messy diapers and sleepless nights and puke on every article of clothing that you own, it doesn't seem fast at all. It seems dreadfully slow. But I'm telling you, the graduate parents, are you with me? You know what they say to the baby dedication parents? Hold on. It goes by fast. You're going to blink. But some of the graduate parents, as you're watching the baby dedication, you're thinking, that was yesterday. That was yesterday that we were doing that interesting thing. There were even a couple of the graduates this morning that at another church, I was the pastor when they were dedicated. And it got here like that for me too. It goes fast. And then now, for the graduate parents, let me just say to you, it doesn't slow down at this point. Like, you're not getting off the roller coaster. It's about to pick up more speed, and there's going to be more hills and loops and turns. I really quickly give you some evidence of that. My oldest graduated in 2017. We were at the other building, affectionately known as the funeral home. We were at that building, and she was a part of graduate recognition at Journey in 2017. I've got a picture, not of her graduate recognition service, but this is her actual graduation. And 6 months ago, she got married. Yeah, like that. Like, it didn't slow down. If that didn't scare you enough. My youngest one, 4 years ago, stood right here on this platform. Here's a picture. She's in the red gown right there in the middle. Her picture's on the screen. She stood right here getting ready to graduate high school, and 2 weeks ago, she got married. My middle daughter 6 years ago, stood on this stage, graduate recognition Sunday, 6 years ago. This was the two of us at her graduation. And in the 11 o'clock service, she'll dedicate their first baby. All right, so if you think this train's slowing down, it's not. It's going to keep going. It's fast from this place to that place. And not only is it fast, let's be honest, it's challenging. It's challenging. I mean, we can be real and talk real talk. Parenting's challenging. About 6 weeks ago, Julie and I reconnected with some friends of ours from when I was in seminary, really good friends. We'd stayed connected through the years. We hadn't really seen them in a while. And we worked out a vacation together. We went skiing. Here's a picture of Julie and I looking ever so good in our ski attire. So we went skiing out in Utah, and we had been there before. They had been there before. So they showed us where to go and how to get around. One of the spouses in your marriage, when you go on a trip, they're responsible for planning everything. And the other one does nothing, right? They do. And it's not always the man, it's not always the woman. One of them just shows up, like barely packed correctly, and just wants you to tell them where to go. I don't want to know it. Now, in my family, I'm the planning person. My wife wants to show up and know nothing and have to know anywhere that we're going to be going. She just wants me to take her everywhere. If you look up passenger princess in the dictionary, my wife, right? Now, my wife runs a whole lot of things in our house, and she's a great leader in her job. But when we go somewhere, she doesn't want to have to think. She wants to show up and then complain if I don't do something right but that's another message. That's another message. So this ski trip, I got to be that person because our friends knew where we were going, and we were skiing, and they knew all the slopes, and I found out why she likes it so much. Like, it's great. So they would tell us which ski lift to get on and where we were going to eat and how we were going to get back to the resort, because I would have never been able to get us back. Most of the ski lifts all kind of looked the same. But there were a couple of lifts that before you got on, they had a sign that said, "No easy way down." This is the sign. See, no easy way down. Now, if you're not a skier, slopes are graded by color for difficulty. So green's easy. If you're inexperienced, if you're a new skier, stay on the green pass. Not steep, not challenging. You'll be fine. Blue's for more experienced skiers, going to be steeper. It's going to have some challenges. Black is for only experienced, like really experienced. Don't get on the black diamond unless you're really experienced. Double black diamond is for crazy people. That's what that is. You don't want to go there. So one of the worst things that can happen to an inexperienced skier is that you ride to the top of a lift and you realize there's only black diamonds from here. There is no easy way to get down from here. So this resort, they were really kind. I don't know how many people paid attention, but they were really kind to say, if you take this lift to the top, you're going to have challenges getting down. It's not going to be easy coming down. It's going to be steep. It might be icy. You might fall a couple of times. There is no easy way down if you take this lift. I think before people decide to become parents, we should take a sign to their house. This says, look, there's no easy way down. If you get on that lift and take it to the top, if you decide to become a parent, not only is it fast, it's challenging. It's difficult sometimes. We don't talk about it because we all want other parents to think we've got it together, right? We want other parents to think we don't have any problems with our kids, but we know your kids. We know everybody's kids. We know all kids. We know all parents. There is no easy way down. Look, parenting is full of joy and fulfilling moments. It's full of that chunky stage with the cheeks and the rolls. That's full of that. It's full of seeing your child try something new and be successful and cheering them on. and seeing them work through things and grow and mature and become leaders and gain responsibility. It's full of hugs and kisses, but that ain't all it's full of. It's hard sometimes. You worry a lot, don't you, Mom and Dad? I mean, we live in this age now where there's technology to worry about, and you're always going to worry about your friends, your kids' friends. There's parent-teacher conferences, right, and EIP plans. There's mental and behavioral abilities and disabilities. There's things that you have to make decisions on. There's how are we going to discipline and how are we going to correct? And let me just give you a word of advice here. It doesn't matter what you choose. It's important what you choose, but whatever you choose, there's going to come a time later where you're going to think, we should have disciplined harder, or we disciplined too hard. Like whatever you choose, you're going to question it one day. These are the challenges of being a parent. Dr. Vivek Murthy is a former U.S. Surgeon General, and he recently released some research where, according to his research, 48% of parents say that they experience overwhelming stress. Almost half of all parents say we at times experience overwhelming stress as parents. 65% of parents say they experience loneliness because once you begin having kids, it is more challenging to maintain those social connections and social interactions. Among single parents, that goes to 75%. 65 to 75% of all parents say we experience loneliness as parents. It's hard. I know we're dedicating 8 kids today. I fully expect the birth rate among people who attend Journey to plummet after this inspirational message. But I'm just saying it's hard. Let's not kid ourselves. It's fast. It's full of joy, incredible, wonderful opportunity. And then it's hard. There's some blue runs. There's some black runs. There's some double black diamond runs as parents. There is no easy way down. So what do you do? What do you do as parents? Here's another problem, I think, for us specifically in the church. The way we read some of the biblical verses relating to parenting becomes a problem, I think. For example, if you know Proverbs 22:6, if you don't, that's fine. But if you're familiar with this verse, you're probably familiar with the King James Version, which says, train up a child in the way he should go, and even when he's old, he'll not depart from it. And there's some question as to the validity of that particular translation. But let's go with it because that's what most of us know. We take that to mean we should teach our children about the Lord, and you should. We should raise them to know the Lord, and you should. We should teach them right from wrong. We should train them in the way of the Lord. We should teach them the Bible. We should teach them about Jesus, and you should do all of that, and the Bible commends all of that. The problem is, we tend to read this verse as if it is a formula. If I do this, everything's going to be fine. If I do this, God has promised me it's all going to work out. And maybe they'll go away for a little while, but they'll come back. 2 + 2 = 4. We tend to read these verses as, if I just do this, then this has got to happen. And I don't mean to rock your world, but parenting is just not a formula. And God's not trying to tell you it's a formula. God's not saying, you do these 5 things, everything's going to be fine. Because that's not the way parenting is. Look, the problem's not in the verse. The problem's in the way we read the verse because we want some guarantee. I get it. I want guarantees too. I want a guarantee it's all going to be okay. Just don't read the Bible that way. Another one, really familiar one when it comes to parenting. Children are a heritage from the Lord, offspring a reward from Him, like arrows in the hands of a warrior or children born in one's youth. Blessed is the man or woman whose quiver is full of them. They'll not be put to shame when they contend with their opponents in court. Wonderful line, wonderfully poetic line about our kids. They are a gift from the Lord. They are a good reward. Every kid is a gift from the Lord, but sometimes we read that as, okay, I just got to fill up my quiver and then I'm going to be good. I'm going to be blessed. I'm going to be happy. I won't be embarrassed. I won't be embarrassed by my kids. That's sort of what he says at the end. Like, you won't be embarrassed when your kids go out in public. We all know that's not right. Excuse me. Like the checkout line at Walmart. You've been embarrassed before. Again, it's not the verse. I'm not arguing that the verse is faulty. I'm arguing that as parents, it brings out so much insecurity and anxiety in us that we want some promises. When, Mom and Dad? God's not offering you a formula. He's offering you some things you should do. You should raise them to know the Lord. You should train them in the way of the Lord. You should see them as a gift. All of that is true, but He's not trying to promise you a formula. He's trying to get you to look to Him. Parenting is not, well, if I just do this, it'll be okay. Parenting is realizing how much you need the Lord at every stage of your child's life, every single one. How dependent you are on the Lord. It's not signing a guarantee and, okay, it's going to be fine. It's, God, I need you during this day. I need you this stage. I need you more this stage. I realize I still need you. It is drawing you into your relationship with Jesus because you recognize you need Him. I mean, from that early prayer of, God, please help me keep this baby alive. You remember that prayer? You just feel like, I haven't done a good job sometimes keeping me alive. Like, I've come really close a couple times to not keeping me alive, and now I got to keep another human alive. God, please, you check their breathing, you do that whole thing. They got fancy stuff now, like fancy stuff that checks it all during the night. I didn't have fancy stuff. You had to make sure their little tummy was rising, like the old-fashioned way. Like, God, please help me keep this child alive. Then they become a teenager, and you pray, God, help me not to kill them. Like all along the way, making fun, but as a parent, parenting is to draw you ever closer to the Lord and recognize your dependence. And if you're here and you're in a challenging spot, let's the rest of us stop kidding each other. It's been challenging for us too. There's no easy way down. Nobody gets to ski the green run when they're parenting. Nobody. So what do you do? Like, because it's fast and because it's hard. And I'm just got to cover this real quickly. I just want to say two things to you. We're going to cover more of this in the next couple of weeks. I just want to say two things to you of what you can do when it's easy and when it's hard, when you understand, when you don't understand, when your heart is broken, when your heart is angry. Two things you can do every single time. One, make sure your child knows you love them unconditionally. Make sure. Every season. Every step. When you're mad at them, when you're frustrated, when you're disappointed, when you're celebrating them, when everything's going easy, make sure they know Mom and Dad love you. And you may question a lot of things in your life. And we may disagree about a lot of things. You never have to wonder about this. And say it, because they don't know it if you don't say it. Say it, text it, record a voice memo, sing it. Whatever you do, whatever your thing is, do it. At every stage. When they're young and they run into your arms, and you say, oh, I love you so much. And then when they get to middle school and you go to hug them and they go, anybody else got that kid? Hug them anyway. Leave no doubt. Leave no doubt. You're not going to like them all the time. You're not going to like what they do and what they choose all the time. You're not. Make sure they know you love them unconditionally. Mom and Dad, real quickly, there is a unique stamp of love and acceptance that can only come from you. Can only come from you. And they'll look for it other places, and other people can love your child, and other people can encourage your child, and we love that. Like when other people love and pour into our kids, we love that. Is such a good thing. It's such a good gift. Some of you have poured into my kids. I'm so grateful for that. But there is a stamp of love and acceptance that nobody else can replace. Some of you are kind of on the other side of it. You're on the back side of that. You didn't get that. And God has been faithful, and other people have stepped into your life, and you have been loved by others. But surely even you would say, it would have been so much easier, better for me if I had just had that. If I had had that. Mom and Dad, make sure your children know that you love them unconditionally. Second thing, make sure your children know that you love Jesus. Make sure they know. Don't fake it. Don't pretend. Don't pseudo follow Jesus because you're hoping it's some sort of deal where they'll turn out okay. Don't drop them at church. Bring them to church. You're not going to be perfect at it. None of us are perfect at it. But when parenting is fast and parenting is challenging, at every stage of parenting, you can do these two things. You can love them unconditionally, and you can make sure they know you love Jesus, that it is real to you. Jesus, your faith is authentic to you. That you pray, that you are in His Word. Just like we said with Deuteronomy 6. Now, you can't transfer something to your kid you don't have. If you don't have a deep love for the Lord, you're not going to be able to transfer. Now, maybe somebody else will. Maybe the Holy Spirit will do it for you, but you won't be able to spiritually influence them, and nobody is positioned to spiritually influence your child more than you are. Nobody. Make sure they know you love Jesus. Look, they may doubt whether they love Jesus at some point. They may doubt the Bible. They may doubt God. They may work through that. A lot of us have worked through those seasons of their life. And it's okay to have that conversation. We talked about doubt last week. It's okay to say, you know what? I wrestled with some of this. Here's where I landed. Here's how I worked through that. It's okay to share that. But even if they don't believe, parent them in a way that they'll never doubt that you believe. They'll never question whether you believe what you say about the Lord, whether they're believing it right now or not. Put in front of them a genuine, humble, authentic passion for the things of the Lord, that you read His Word, that you worship Him, that you pray. Green slope, do it. Blue slope, double diamond. In every moment, make sure they know you love them. Make sure they know you love Jesus. And there's a lot of other things that we have to face and we have to decide. I'm not trying to be simplistic or reductionist, that this is, everything else takes care of itself. But these are the two most important. That there is that affirmation in their heart. Mom, Dad, love me no matter what. Mom, Dad, love Jesus. Follow Jesus. Pursue Jesus. Let's just pray for a minute. As we wrap up, let's just pray. As we've dedicated children to the Lord, as we've celebrated this incredible accomplishment of getting to high school and for one college graduation. For all the goodness of that, I know there are moms and dads who bring heaviness and weight. You're in a season of no easy way down for some of us. And those of us who aren't, we will be there. And I get there's a spectrum. It does no good to compare my hard places with your hard places. We all have hard places. We're going to love our kids through it. We're going to love Jesus in the midst of it. And we're going to draw closer to Him. God, I pray across this room for all of us, for parents, but for aunts and uncles, for grandparents, for siblings. God, help us to love children, students, our own certainly, with an unconditional love, to stamp their hearts with an acceptance and an approval that they don't have to earn and they can't lose. And we'll be honest, sometimes we have to do that when our heart is breaking for them. And in all of those moments, help us to keep turning to You. To realize that part of parenting is how You shape us and You grow us. It's how You teach us as parents to keep trusting You, to keep following You, to keep believing You. God, we need more and more parents who will just authentically follow after the heart of Jesus. Not perfect parents, but they deeply love Jesus and the way of Jesus, so that our kids can more and more see that. I pray it in Christ's name. Amen. Thank you so much for being here. I know many of you have now plans for Mother's Day, and we're just grateful that you would carve out a little part of your Mother's Day to be with us. As I mentioned, for all of the ladies who are with us this morning, we have a little treat in the hallway, and so be sure to stop by. If you want to support the ministries of Journey and what we're doing here, you can do that by scanning the QR code that gets you to the online giving. We also have